Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk, coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We are on DTT because we're free to air on GoTV channel 421 and DSTV channel 421 actually, and GoTV channel 125. We are coming to you also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Joy News on TV. Coming up this morning, tension heightens between the NPP and an independent candidate in the Kumawu constituency as the by-election in that area draws closer. We have details for you shortly. Also this morning, fortification work begins to improve structural integrity of dilapidated school building in Zeno. Plus, bird experts and enthusiasts worried over the alarming decline of Ghana's migratory bird population as they identify the loss of wetlands as one of the factors contributing to this worrying trend. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do stay for details. This morning, tension has heightened between the NPP and an independent candidate in Kumawu as a by-election in that area draws closer. The NPP has over the years beaten all candidates to win the seat, but the independent candidate Kwekudria came close to snatching it in the 2020 parliamentary elections. With the emergence of another Kwekudria as an independent candidate, the former is optimistic of beating all odds to win the seat this time. Nanaya Ojima has been looking at the heated exchanges between the two leading candidates as they enter the final lap of their campaigns.
The demise of Kumawu MP Philip Baswa necessitated a by-election to fill the vacant seats. In the 2020 parliamentary election, the deceased MP garnered over 14,000 votes, with the independent candidate Kwekudria making 11,698. The NDC candidate who came third, Bernard Opokumafo, could make 2,439 votes. These results are, however, being contested by the independent candidate.
But to us who voted and who are from this constituency, everybody knew that I won that election. And for that reason, I was bent on going to court to seek redress. Well, some movements went on and they came and apologized through the Omanyene. He's my grandfather. So when he called me, I obliged.
The independent candidate was once a member of the New Patriotic Party. He refused a call to reunite with the party after the 2020 general election. Mr. Dua explains.
So when they approached me that, hey, we want to know what you're going to do, they knew I was the right person to go. That's why they approached me in the first place. They should have asked me to go uncontested. And I told them that. I said, listen, if I contest with anybody, I will lose. Why? Because I don't have anybody to vote for me.
You don't have people in the polling stations to vote for you?
Exactly. Because they disqualified all my guys.
The NPP have since attacked his campaign, claiming the candidate is in bed with the opposition National Democratic Congress. Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entribusiakon, explains.
I have no MPP ni, but why to say Judas is carrot? Say Kwekudria ni did Judas is carrot. What is why Kwatia? Why you Kumawu Mayama? What you say?
He used to be a member of the NPP, but not anymore. He's a traitor. He can now be linked to the biblical Judas Iscariot. He is now in bed with the NDC. That is why his posters are green in color. The NDC knows they have no chance of winning the seat, so they are now relying on him.
abra ode no ho akoba NDC no yabema obi ahu NDC for no rely on it NDC for nim say omunya 2800 and something. It is this election no anya de asaka NDC for no person omoba na mom kwatua kwakohunu omo ana omo amaniska so remember you Kumawu na enko no ho because say NPP and NDC parliament in Yabeng.
The NPP has put up Ernest Yao Enim as candidate for the by-election. The candidates who are favourite to win the seat have stepped up their campaign. The regional and national leadership of the New Patriotic Party are busy in the constituency, visiting almost all towns and villages in the enclave with their message. The independent candidate is, however, unfazed.
So we leave it to the people to decide whom they trust, whom they can trust, whom they think can deliver for them. And I'm doing it with my own money, with my own resources. So do you think if the government gives me something for developmental project within the constituency or the community, I'm going to blow it? No, I'll use it for that purpose. And let me tell you, I'm ready and willing to work with all the stakeholders.
The NPP is expected to climax its campaign with a rally on Sunday where the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, is expected to be present. For Joy News, Nana Aljima, Kumawu.
Well, engineers are currently on site working on the 12-unit classroom block at the Zeno Classroom School in the Katamanso municipality of the Greater Accra region in a bid to fortify the structure for effective academic work. This follows Joy News' earlier report on the state of the structure that forced hundreds of school pupils to study under trees. My colleague Carlos Caloni visited the site earlier today and now reports.
When we visited the Zeno cluster of schools last week, 8th of May 2023, we saw school children studying under trees. According to pupils and teachers of the school, some strong movement were intermittently felt in the building during lessons. Following a Joy News report, the Municipal Director of Education, Harry Evans Arthur, assured his office will move swiftly to fortify the building within a month. A follow-up to the school Thursday, May 18, 2023 revealed that work had started in earnest, with contractor excavating the ground floor of all the classrooms. It is the hope of the Education Directorate that works will be completed as scheduled in order to uphold the rights of both pupils and teachers to study in a decent and conducive atmosphere.
What is happening at the moment is that the Assembly has been able to send engineers to the ground. As I speak to you now, work is in progress. They are working so hard to make sure that work is done in less than a month so that students can go back and use the classroom.
The Katamanso Municipal Education Directorate has meanwhile launched the Teacher Prize and its 10th anniversary to celebrate the work of teachers and the achievements of the last decade. Commending the municipality for this initiative, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service in charge of quality and access, Dr. Kobena Bempa Tando, noted that as part of government overall education reform in the country, the GES is introducing reforms for teachers' professional development.
It is important to know that quality education, as we are implementing it now, is drawn from the Education Strategic Plan of 2018 to 2030. There are a number of things, including reform of teachers or teacher reforms, as we talk about it, which looks at how we can ensure that our teachers, as well as non-teaching staff, continue to have high level of professionalism in the work that we do. We have worked with the Ministry of Education to implement a number of things. Number one being the 2019 implementation of the Continuous Professional Development Allowance for Teachers to support teachers in their own professional development as they deem necessary and see fit.
The launch also witnessed the unveiling of anniversary cloth. Speaking to Joy News, some teachers believe the move would go a long way to enhance academic performance in the municipality.
The overall academic performance You see, when teachers are appreciated, they give off their best. And if when teachers are giving off their best, then definitely the academic performance is also going to be improved.
With this, I tell you, our next result is going to be different.
From Katamanso Municipality, my name is Carlos Caloni for Joy News.
Let's now speak with Harry Evans Arthur. He's the Director of Education for Katamanso. He joins us for more. Mr. Evans Arthur, this must be coming as a relief for you.
Hello, madam.
Yes, Mr. Arthur.
Yes, yes.
I'm saying that this must be coming as a relief for the Directorate.
Thank you, madam, and good morning to your cherished viewers. Yes, the launching of the Teacher Prize and the 10th anniversary really has brought some relief to us. Having launched this major event, it now behooves us to strategize very well to see how best we can mobilize resources to actualize our dream come October this year.
Let's talk about the problem of infrastructure in Katamanso. I mean, how serious is the problem?
Thank you. I thought you would continue with the teacher fund. Before I get there, please, having launched the teacher prize, what we intend doing now is to appeal to all individuals and corporate bodies to come to our aid. We are looking up to giving awards to 65 individual teachers who have distinguished themselves and then some schools. So we are appealing to everybody who has education at heart to come to our aid. We need the help. Between now and October, our doors are widely open to all and sundry to come to our aid to make sure that we motivate our teachers. We give them what they deserve. Having worked tirelessly all these years, we need to appreciate them. It is always the best to go to places where you are celebrated more than where you are tolerated. So please, using a platform, appealing to all to come to our aid.
Okay.
Now, back to the issue at hand. Okay, yes, madam.
Go ahead.
Back to the issue at hand. From Katamanso Municipal Education Directorate, we are moving on in spite of our challenges. What happened about a week or two ago, we are grateful to the Municipal Assembly. They sent engineers to the school, and the last time I visited the place, I realized that work was going on steadily. Engineers are on the ground. It seems they are trying to excavate the floor and then recut the whole place to give it a new shape, a new look, so that students will feel at ease using the facility. So work is actually going on, and as a temporary measure, we have also rented some canopies that the students are using comfortably. So as I speak to you now, there isn't much to worry about as far as the new issue is concerned.
How long is the project going to last, and when are we expecting the students back in school?
The news the engineers have given to me through the MC, I'm not sure to go beyond a month. So we're looking up to a space of 1 month.
All right, I'm grateful for your time, Evans
Yes,
Arthur.
so very grateful.
He's with he's a director of education for the Katamanso Municipal Assembly. Can you believe that there are girls as young as 11 years using contraceptives to prevent pregnancies in Accra? This came to light when my colleague Martha Krenselakwa embarked on a project titled Teens on Contraceptives. Here are excerpts. These children are sometimes making the decisions all by themselves without any help from a parent or guardian. In the latest twist of education meant for couples to decide on planning childbearing, children who are not supposed to be on the methods are rather taking that bold decision. There's more in this report.
Family planning is a very delicate issue, and many people shy away from having a conversation about that topic. But research has shown that adolescents as young as 10 and 11 are taking that decision boldly by walking to the health facility to make a choice. Come with me and let's explore this topic. Contraceptives are the name given to medicines and other devices that are used to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Contraceptives may also be referred to as birth control. Hormonal contraceptive consists of one or more synthetic female sex hormones. In times past, you expect couples who are planning their families to enroll on their choice of contraceptives. Condoms, though another popular birth control method, is often used to preach against sexually transmitted diseases. Condoms are thin pouches that keep sperm from getting into the vagina. There are male and female condoms. Condoms do not protect against infections spread from sores on the skin not covered by a condom, such as the base of the penis or scrotum. Couples having sex must always use condoms to protect against STDs, even when using another birth control methods. Abstinence, not having sex, is the only method that always prevents pregnancy and STDs.
Family planning is deciding on when to have your children and then the interval you want to have your children. But when it comes to adolescents taking family planning, like you said, they are sexually active. They are not married. They have partners and they are sexually active. So they also want to prevent pregnancy. So that is why they'll go in for family planning.
So if this is what family planning is, what has that got to do with children enrolling on it?
But it wasn't the case before. What has led to this? Is it too much education? What is the problem?
So I wouldn't say it's too much education, but in the bid to reduce teenage pregnancy, education has gone on. There's been a series of education over the years on prevention of pregnancy. And one of the ways of preventing pregnancy in adolescents is the use of family planning, since most of them are sexually active. Yeah.
Public health nurse Dr. Sahaji explains further the different types of family planning.
Yeah, well, long acting and near a one a better answer na the effect no a die down. Yeah, well, short acting. Into short acting, a bit to say pills na ye fano and no or ban or befani debia. Yeah, well, injectables and as a pania yeah, well, ube one either 3 months and now 1 month. And a long acting no so yeah, well, implants and no a idea. It is a plastic rod or ban or debeshe. I have say now for 3 years and I say for 5 years. And I have IUD near the shower would anymore and so it may last 10 years. And I have condoms and also a form of family planning and also and I have female and male sterilization and also near can say a month for baby say yakochiche na wodi enano and female sterilization.
This community, for instance, where you work, how often do you see adolescents at what age coming asking questions or wanting to get on
family planning? So as a municipality, we do get adolescents, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, asking questions on family planning. Sorry, and then some of them on the coming in for family or asking questions on family planning. As a health directorate, we go in for school health services. Okay. So we speak to the adolescents on reproductive health issues, and one of the topics are on family planning. So you get adolescents asking questions on family planning as early as 10 years, 11 years, and even coming in for the services.
I caught up with some teens between the ages of 13 and 19 for a chat on this subject.
I know it's used to prevent the sperms from growing in a woman, and I also learned it helps in preventing of pregnancy, unwanted pregnancies.
Please, they said contraceptive is good for those who have sex, but as a child, there is no need for you to use a contraceptive because it's not good for you.
Have you heard of contraceptive?
Yes, I've heard of contraceptive before.
Okay, have you used them?
No, please, by a friend. According to her, it did not go well with her. After they put her on the plan, she was hoping that to go on well, but unfortunately it did not go on well as she was expecting, because she was bleeding at the same time. By the time she got to know that it wasn't working, by then she was already pregnant.
Let's meet 3 girls with peculiar stories to tell. This is Amma, not her real name. She is 17 and a JHS graduate. She has already had her shot with contraceptives. She has very little knowledge about family planning in general. She is actually unaware that the method is intended to prevent pregnancy. Amma is on implant, which is hormonal. It is a small rod placed under the skin in the upper arm by a healthcare provider to prevent pregnancy 99% of the time. The implant, which lasts for 3 years, releases the hormone progestin to stop the ovaries from releasing eggs, and it thickens cervical mucus, so it is difficult for sperm to enter the uterus. She tells me her aunt took the decision to put her on family planning without any explanation.
Minimo, I'm de share me and see. I'm de share and see me. I'm de share.
Okay. Now, when I'm a wife, said one I'll buy and no be no buy.
Me aunt need me buy.
What do you want to say? Oh, a class. Okay. Until no buy but show me here or by the
amount.
Now, once we decide.
A man can't try me.
Oh, boyfriend. Oh, boyfriend. So you say one now know you're the same age.
I know me at the same age.
Into what auntie me? When your boyfriend now?
Mistake me call no one. I know of course me say me name have sex. And I'm me have a if it's why I
I sought to test if Amma would opt for family planning when she gets to her adult life. Annabelle, not her real name, is 19 years. She completed senior high school in 2021. She wants to be a fire officer in future. She decided on her own to take the injectable to prevent pregnancy because she had a boyfriend.
Me for 3 months, but me no be a anything to me chai. Yeah. Me a panny and the other for 3 months. And I mean, you'll be next, but Nipano 1 year will be a meeting in that 19. I forget.
She tells me she did not even think about STIs when she took the family planning method.
Because of a droning tea. Now, and bad cement mansion, a back a Caribbean age.
STIs. Pregnancy day, what did you think about STIs?
No. Because it's an indona bano, it's a failing in your manoma. I think it's a family planning best. Because I don't know for 3 months. I don't never want me. Because me person meaning same pregnancy be a baby fear, a baby and same baby. And I think so no baby tamame.
Fusena is not sure of her age, but the healthcare provider says she may be 20 years now. She is from Yegbo in the northern region. She got married quite young. She has a 3-year-old daughter. Her data in the health record says last year she came in at 19 when her child was 2 years to opt for family planning. She has no formal education. She said she wanted to space her childbearing.
Now we couldn't say me be honest me be. Now I'm person me shade no. And I may buy and Madam Ni.
Who can say on person be shell who be sans
Man bisano. Now we see man person me wo ntem kame bano so me person onyi ansa. I don't want to say on pe obia obe warane na on pe akwala obe woman na ntina
Fuseina says now she's a little worried as she is not able to conceive, though she has gone off the family planning. Juliana Jampo is a community health nurse at the Malamata Government Clinic. She says some adolescents as young as 15 sometimes walk in by themselves seeking her assistance to prevent pregnancies. She has attended and taken hundreds of adolescents through this process. She says talking these adolescent girls out of going ahead is not an option.
You daily. Whether so only be man bed you have to take it every day. And then we have the implant, that is 3 years, and then we have Jadel, which is 5 years, and then condom. Until I'm by a church and which I prefer so yen. Family planning there yen to suma. The person's choice. Until no person yen, then we do it for the person. And I want thing so I can say family planning method you can change it anytime. Until be a name about me so can pay 1 month. Obe 1 month. I feel there, dream house, so 1 month in the grass is too short. So I want the 3 months, so I want the long term. Until we buy a very amount, and you can change it at any time. Normally, so almost an bar, it be a madam Beccasu. It be a maybe or school. Beso Benis and school no crania cry until be a long term a man. And there be a madam nana a bit too soon, and a nipan and banana a bit too soon method on a man. Don't say name my one. And to set it no. And then a my one bueno. Omo ye near be an same fata. But in Nipane be on ye, not just so be who say. Into one year ready so be who say, no be yin and no be abortion in there, and call bonnet who buy a few sanke.
So, which is better? That these young adolescents are unaware of contraceptives and are taking such decisions to primarily prevent pregnancies or to stay away and end up with pregnancies.
The best thing is anka, won't worry the anka, you have to abstain from sex. But since a nipan person at the end of the day, you can't prevent the person. And there can be being to say too much of everything is bad. We share too much. At least me sure say you fair to be better. But in Nipan no ye kakra for some time and people say so we jai. And now you can change the method. If you have been on a method for so long, you can switch to another method. Normally, say be number you cancel one. Say family planning now by yen. It doesn't give you lances. You better me an STI. It's only for pregnancy. It's not so you can search your phone. And Sunday, say why you intend so I family planning and then I'll cook with you whole call we all cook better me an STI near the ways for solely for pregnancy and nothing else.
Age now, how young? The youngest you have ever had here?
Youngest is 15 years. 15. Or no buyer. Oh, school or JSS. Oh, so family planning the umbana be so be or see at see or radio so near there on some mobile with the contraceptives, you one with the TV so near radio near there. And see almost now times they be or higher school so no so near Mokasa. So they have to abstain, but you wouldn't me abstain there. Then you have to come and do family planning. And go to school health and so you know Mokasa.
The Bono East Regional Peace Council has been urged to step up efforts at devising realistic strategies to address protracted chieftaincy disputes in the region. This according to a member of the governing board of the National Peace Council, Numu Blafo Akotia III, would help in the attainment of sustainable peace as well as attract the needed development to the region. He made the call during a brief ceremony to inaugurate the Bono East Regional House of Chiefs. And Savit has more.
A member of the governing board of the National Peace Council, Numu Blafo Akotia Omaitu III, has inaugurated the newly constituted Bono East Regional Peace Council with a call on members to be steadfast in the discharge of their duties. The 13-member council is expected to, amongst other things, play its role towards ensuring the region's safety and peace through activities that promote peace amongst the people.
Chief Director,
Act 818 also institutionalized the setting up of regional and district peace councils at the regional and district levels, whose composition is the same as that of the governing board. The regional peace councils are mandated to, among others, offer advice to the regional coordinating council and the regional security council in relation to conflict prevention, management, resolution, and building sustainable peace within the region, and make recommendations to the regional coordinating council and the regional security council on how to improve the situation, among other functions.
He was, however, quick to caution members of the council to be cautious of how they conduct themselves and stay away from jumping into pronouncing judgments during conflicts.
When there's an issue, you don't go out there, judging people. You won't go first to say, oh, this person didn't do right or this person did right. Yours should be an independent, neutral arbiter. Because if you go out there and then pronounce judgment before even calling the parties to the table, one person who you are pronounced guilty will not have the confidence to come to the table.
Bono East Regional Coordinating Director George Padmore Mensah reiterated the need for the council to work towards establishing a strong collaboration with key stakeholders in the area to help resolve the various chieftaincy conflicts in the region.
The Bono East region is plagued with persistent conflicts in the chieftaincy arena, land border issues, and farmer-headed disputes that erupt into violent conflicts, thus affecting the pace of development in the region. I urge you to establish and strengthen collaboration with the security agencies, governance institutions, traditional authorities, and the civil society organizations to facilitate the attainment of sustainable peace in the region.
He also made a passionate appeal to members of the council to assist the Regional Security Council in helping break the chieftaincy impasse in Techiman-Songo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to make a passionate appeal to the Regional Peace Council as its first task to assist residents to break the security impasse at the Techiman-Songo, posing a serious security threat to the Zongo community.
Newly elected regional chairman of the Peace Council, Reverend Owusu Aseku, on his part noted that the council is set to use education as the main tool towards sensitizing the populace on the need to see peace as a tool for development.
We are praying that God will help us, grant us wisdom, so that we will minimize. And not only that, we have 7 cardinal points or issues that bring about conflicts. And border disputes is one, ethnic differences is other. These politicians, so we will do all that we can. We will first educate the members before we set off.
The 13-member council constitutes representatives from various religious organizations, traditional authorities, heads of security institutions, amongst others. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Bird experts and enthusiasts are worried over the alarming decline of Ghana's migratory bird population. The loss of wetlands and vital habitats for these birds have been cited as a major contributory factor to this worrisome trend. This came to light during a bird walk event on Global Big Day in Accra. Michael Ashali has more.
A pied kingfisher sits comfortably on the branch. It is a captivating bird known for its distinctive black and white plumage and impressive fishing skills. Its distinctive rattling call and graceful flight make it a beloved sight for bird watchers and nature enthusiasts in Ghana. And so it was for bird watchers who participated in this year's Global Big Day event.
It's not in breeding, the color, the bill is still yellow or pink. And the juvenile has a black bill.
With binoculars in hand and in the company of ornithologist David Damani, they embarked on an adventure of discovery unlocking the secrets of Ghana's winged wonders, one feathered marvel at a time.
See, this is the northern red bishop. Yeah. This is the fire crown. It used to be called fire crown.
The yellow crowned bishop is a striking bird with its vibrant yellow crown and intricate black plumage. In the colorful tapestry of bishop birds, the black-winged red bishop emerges as a fiery masterpiece, its ebony wings and crimson plumage painting a vibrant portrait of avian brilliance. Like a vision from an artist's brush, the western reef heron graces the wetlands with its ethereal presence, adorned in a cloak of slate grey plumage that embodies elegance and tranquility. Perched gracefully on the ground, the collared pratinco exudes an air of serenity, embracing its surroundings with a relaxed demeanor that invites admiration for its poise and beauty. The loss of wetlands, the once cherished homes to countless migratory birds, poses a grave concern as these vital habitats diminish, threatening the vibrant melodies and survival of these winged travelers. Joseph Afrifa is with the Ghana Wildlife Society.
There are a lot of benefits we get from every species on Earth. So, and then there's that thing we call the food chain and food cycle. So somebody feeds on somebody, somebody feeds on somebody. So the snake feeds on the frog feeds on probably other things, and then that cycle goes on. The birds feed on the snake, somebody feeds on the bird, and that. So if you take one thing out of the equation, that means you've distorted the balance. So the numbers going down means that the ecosystem functioning is being tempered with.
For participants, their hearts were filled with gratitude.
I like this. I mean, I've studied birds a little.
Okay.
I never took the pain to actually look at the details of what the names were, the features, and today I got to learn. So I believe that if I follow through with the monthly bird watching, I'll be a good and an experienced watcher here.
From the resplendent colors of the bishops to the majestic flight of kingfishers, bird walking shows the magnificence and fragility of Ghana's feathered inhabitants. Until we meet again, happy birding. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
The Paramount Chief of Asokore Asante, Professor SKB Asante, has highlighted the significant role played by Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons in mitigating the issue of brain drain in the country. He says, but for the College of Physicians and Surgeons, many of the country's health professionals would have left the country. He was speaking at a grand launch of the college's 20th anniversary celebration in Accra.
Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons was established by an Act of Parliament some 20 years ago to provide postgraduate medical education and training in various specialties of medicine and surgery in Ghana. The college aims to ensure high standards of medical practice and promote the welfare of patients in the country. Speaking at an event to launch its 20th anniversary, Paramount Chief of the Asokore Asante, Professor Samuel Kwejo Boateng Asante, indicated that the establishment of the college has slowed the rate of brain drain in the country.
So, but in general terms, the college can claim, without offense to modesty, that it's contributed to the stemming of the brain drain in the medical field. The exodus of our young doctors to distant lands in search of postgraduate training has been significantly reduced. The college has also played a significant role in raising the standard of medical practice and in the promotion of scholarship in medicine in this country.
Minister of Health Kweku Agyeman-Manu also indicated that fellows have been produced by the college to help in developing the country's healthcare sector.
I must express my happiness and joy to be here on this occasion of the 20th anniversary of Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. 20 years in the history of an institution. Though it's a short time, it is also a significant milestone. The college is a key agency of the Ministry of Health, and her task of producing specialist doctors for the country is key to the development of our country. The members and fellows produced by the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons are very crucial for the success of our healthcare system. The fellows of the college are the automatic leaders of the health workforce, and we expect the college to continue providing the country with these leaders. The contribution of the products of the college to health policy discussions will also help us come out with the best systems possible to ensure that our universal health coverage targets are achieved in the short term.
On his part, Council Chairman for the college, Professor Yao Edu-Jemfi, in an interview suggested that giving special incentives to medical practitioners in rural areas would attract more doctors to practice in those areas.
Giving people a bit of more money, so that if you can have differential pay structures, for example, so that the specialists in, say, Kumasi or Accra will get a bit less than somebody who volunteers to go to my village hometown. So we should give incentives for people who want to serve outside the big cities. Because the main problem that keep people in the big cities and the big centers really is children's education. So they should recognize that and provide such facilities. It's not just the practice. You have specialized. You need equipment, needs, facilities, and all that. That is one side of the equation. If they throw you out and you go to the district and there's nothing there, then your training has not been put to good use.
The Ghana Health Service Choir serenaded guests with their melodious voices. The anniversary is themed 2 decades of medical postgraduate training in Ghana. Esther Nkrumah's report read to you.
We're live on Joy News Desk. Now, experts at a 2-day transformation dialogue on small-scale mining have alluded to the increasing impact of illegal mining on public health and safety, calling for an urgent response from duty bearers. Environmental Protection Agency revealed alarming levels of mercury in the Tano River as heavy metals are found in the gills of fishes tested from the river. Security analyst Adib Sani says Galamsey sites are awash with illegal weapons, warning against possible infiltration of terrorists into the sector. But Lance Minister Abojinapo says the government is on track and unwavering in the fight against illegal mining. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko is part of the 2023 dialogue by the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyai and has filed this report.
This year's UNAIR Transformational Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining opened with a call for action from the Council Chairman, Professor Kwesi Nsia-Jabbar, and Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Elvis Asare-Bediako.
Artisanal and small-scale mining in Ghana is increasingly situated with the destruction of our forests, our water bodies, and our farmlands. The Galamsey menace is so serious that the next general elections will be determined by the way and manner in which the various political parties will address the Galamsey issue in their manifestos. So, Minister, if you can break the 8, then you can warm yourself from today.
The most pressing need in Ghana is for country-level stakeholders to strengthen their human and institutional capacity to implement, monitor, and manage difficulties linked with artisanal small-scale activity.
The Environmental Protection Agency, represented by its Ahafo Regional Director, Dr. Jackson Edia Nyantachi, drew attention to the heavy metal contamination of water sources, narrowing in on some testing of samples from the Tano River.
EPA, we are also into research. I did a publication in Hundari, that was last year. I assessed the levels of heavy metals, mercury to be specific, in face samples that were taken from River Tano at the Dantano area there. I thought I was just doing something simple. But when I realized the levels of mercury in the face samples, I became so alarmed. I looked at the levels in muscle, the face muscles, the head, the gills, the eye, and the bones. The highest concentration was.
That's live on Joy News Desk. We'll take a break and we'll return. That's business.
Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. More business managers in Accra have been picked up by the enforcement team of the Ghana Revenue Authority for failing to issue VAT invoices and selective application of the tax laws. All the managers were handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department for questioning. This forms part of the operations by the authority to get businesses to obey the tax laws. Here's more in this report.
The day's operation began from Tasty Trees restaurant located on the campus of the University of Ghana, then to the East Legon and Adenta areas where some businesses have been identified as flouting the tax administration law, especially with regards to the payment of value-added tax. Joseph Annan is head of the enforcement team.
But for us, we always do our preventive assessments and then we recommend you for full audit. What we did in the past, many of them are being audited, and this is not going to be different. So we have been to places like Tasty Treat Restaurant at Legon, Obsession at East Legon, Luxury Wear, East Legon, Eco Furniture, East Legon, Paladin Dolls, East Legon, AB Tissues and more, Adenta, and then TF Eatery, Adenta, where we find ourselves currently.
Mr. Annan also hinted that a docket is being processed for all culprits who have been arrested in order to face the justice system.
They are all doing selective. Some are doing selective issuance, and some are not issuing at all. They tell us they are in the process of registering for VAT. But of course, like I always say, we deal with the law, and Section 41 of the VAT Act clearly states that you should be issuing the invoice at all times. So whether selective or not, once we come and you fail the test, obviously, then you need to be arrested, and then the CID will take charge of, the processes involved and build a docket for our legal unit to carry on with the process.
This exercise is part of moves by the GRA to mobilize revenue for the country.
Now, President of the Ghana Institute of Architects, Foster Osai-Akono, is urging house owners to prioritize acquiring the services of engineers and architects in the construction industry. Now, this, he says, will reduce incidents of collapsed buildings. He was speaking at the inauguration of the 4 ad hoc committees for investigation into collapsed buildings across the country.
The Ghana Institution of Engineering has inaugurated 4 ad hoc committees to investigate the collapse of buildings recently in the country. The committees are expected to ascertain whether the developers involved have acquired the requisite permits prior to the commencement of the buildings and identify the cause of collapse of the structures. In an interview, President of the Ghana Institute of Architects, Foster Osage Akono, reiterated the need for people to acquire the services of professionals in the construction of buildings.
There are a lot of unemployment in the system because the offices are not hiring. The offices are not hiring because the jobs are also not there for them to hire. Okay. My advice to the general public is that let us not think when it comes to buildings, let us not think that I've built one house so I'm an expert. No, we as architects studied 6 years in the university, did practical training or professional training for 2 years, passed professional exams before the title architect was conferred on us. It means that we are very knowledgeable in what we do, and I will want to advise the general public to use professionals within the built environment for their buildings. We are quick to say they are very expensive, but ask yourself, how much materials do I buy? People will easily buy cement. Now it's 100 cedis, but you will easily buy 200 bags.
President of the Ghana Institute of Planners, Mohammed Al-Hassan Damba, urged the committees to be meticulous with their investigations.
They should focus on ascertaining the facts.
All right, and that's it for business. Back to you, Aisha.
Of course, that's how we wrap up the bulletin this morning. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 12.